Welcome to Game of Roses. This is PaceCase.
This is Bachelor Clues.
Oh my god.
What a week.
What is your face?
I'm in the anger stage of grief. I'm angry now.
Clues.
Yeah, I don't know what the 5 stages of grief actually are, but anger's one of them.
Denial.
Okay. Yes, I have gone through that one. I'm going to Google this right now. We need to be on top of this shit.
I was going to say grief, but that can't be right.
Yeah, grief is the biggest stage of grief.
I did denial.
Wait, that's not what. Oops. What are the 5 stages of grief? It can't give me this? The internet can't do this for me? Here we go. Denial.
Check.
Anger.
Check. Okay, so we're only in the second stage.
Yeah. Then we have bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I feel like I've done depression already.
Yeah, I did depression also.
I did denial and I did it reverse. Denial, depression. Now I'm in anger. I have done no bargaining, and I will not be going into the acceptance phase ever.
I feel like I have done bargaining, which is something we'll talk about in our state of the game, which is trying to figure out what the next season could be and save the show.
Right. Please, God, bargaining? If you just give us Maura Higgins, I won't be mad at Taylor Frankie Paul.
And it'll be all worth it.
Please, Dark Lords. Okay. Welcome to Twitted. That's how we open this one. Good thing is, of course, this week in Bachelor Nation. Hell no, I'm not okay. Are you?
No. I feel like this week has been 100 years. It's been so stressful.
Yeah, just constantly looking for the new information to come out that will illuminate some more about the Taylor Frankie Paul situation, but B, tell me, where are we going in Bachelor Nation?
When's the announcement?
People who are making these decisions, I ain't making no fucking decisions. It's just crickets.
When's the announcement?
We're on a ship. We're on a big ship right now. You might even call it the Bachelor Nation cruise. And there ain't no fucking captain. The boat's just floating around in the goddamn sea.
Poop
There's
cruise.
some icebergs over here. There's a fucking Godzilla coming out of the water over here. We got nobody telling us what's going on. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, I would say I feel like that's in the depression stage.
Where's the terror stage? They don't have that. I'm in that stage.
Anger.
I'm scared shitless.
God, I don't have anger, I would say.
No, I do. I have some anger at the people at the top. This was 100% avoidable.
Yeah.
And they just didn't do it. Corporate greed blinded them. They just kept ramming it through, even though they knew all of this shit.
Watching Slumless season 4, like, that makes me angry, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you're like, these were all the off-ramps.
Yeah. There were a million opportunities to be like, oh, we shouldn't do this. Get somebody else in here. A million opportunities. And they didn't do any of it. Anyways, this is This Week in Bachelor Nation. We're going to be talking about all of this, of course. Bachelor Nation news. We got some parasocial plays to get to. We're going to get those screams from the pit before we get to any of it. Let me remind you right now. Look at this. It's a beautiful bottle. If you're just listening, go to YouTube and look at the beautiful color of this Game of Rosé, a bottle of wine that is prepared by Styrene Vineyards, award-winning vineyard. And this wine, indeed, is award-winning in and of itself. You can get it right now if you go to gameofroses.wine. And we were saying you could get it to celebrate the new season of Bachelorette, but now you can get it to drown your sorrows and join me in the second stage of grief, anger.
Or stage 4 for your depression.
Yeah, that too.
Alcohol, I think, famously is good for depression. It's not a depressant.
Yeah. A lot of studies have come out and said that.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the only thing doctors prescribe now, Game of Rosé.
I'm glad that our first wine won an award.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, you can check out all of our stuff going on Patreon right now. Patreon.com/Game of Roses. We are watching Alex Cooper's new show, Love Overboard, in Casa Gore. It's pretty good.
There's already a superstar.
There's a crazy superstar player in it already that is like
Bella.
She's gonna be on some other stuff, like for sure. I think this is just the first time we're seeing her, but it ain't gonna be the last.
Perfect.
I'm curious
match.
to see what she can do. Yeah, she can be on Perfect Match now. Anyways, join us for all of that. And now,
and we're also watching Bachelor Mansion Takeover.
Yeah, Bachelor Mansion Takeover, also in Cosmo, and I'm doing the Nick Vial and Natalie Joy show, which I guess they're going to have a reunion for that show on Vial Files.
So, like, a mini reunion? How many people?
Yeah, how many people can be on that couch? I don't know.
I hope it's just like all the younger players are all sitting on the laps.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they'll rent like a studio or something for it. But join us for all of that. And now join us for
Game of Roses. State of the game.
Okay. Where do we even begin? I want to talk about, we've talked a lot about on this channel and over the course of the past week about all these little things that have come out, obviously the video, but all the little pieces of the story of Taylor Frankie Paul. But one thing that is being kind of left in the lurch that not a lot of people are talking about is the guys of this season. Whether you wound up being the ring winner or you were a night one guy, all of these players had to put their lives on hold to come do this, building anticipation about what it's going to mean for your life after this. Whether you're night one or ring winner, going into this process, you have built up at least a month or two of anticipating that your life is going to be very different after doing this experience. Mm-hmm. And then even as you're in the experience, if you make it kind of deep into even mid-season, you're thinking to yourself, this is going to be social media followers. This is going to be a great experience.
Job.
Potentially, depending on what that job is, et cetera, et cetera. But you're building up in your mind that you have put in the work, you've put in the effort, you have gone and done this show. And if you've made it kind of deep into the series, that season, of course you think, correctly so, that there are going to be opportunities given to you based on your performance in this game. Now, all of that is gone. And the thing that's happening is ABC is dangling two things in front of these guys, two carrots to basically make them shut the fuck up. One is, hey, we're still going to try to air this season. So don't say anything on social media.
We're definitely going to air the season later.
Yeah. So,
what is the chance? What is the chance they do that?
I think 0.0.
Yeah.
We'll get to it in news why I think that's the case. But even without this thing in the news that we're going to talk about, I think it's 0.0. Are you kidding me?
There's
how do you justify it?
They can't.
Well, we decided to pull the season earlier because of that video, but it's been a long time since the video, right, guys? Now we can. Now it's okay to watch this.
It turns out was AI, and actually, none of that happened.
You can't walk it back, and it's also that you're now profiting off of somebody who we've all seen a video of her throwing a chair and hitting a baby in the head with it. I don't know when that's ever going to be a good time to air.
No, I can't believe they're saying to them, we might air this. Like, that seems like a joke.
Because they fucking lie. They do this to players every season with Paradise. And that's the other carrot they're dangling. If you shut up, we'll put you on Paradise. There may not even be a Paradise. And if they do put you on Paradise, you're in a tough spot if you're one of these guys. I don't know if I would even want to go to Paradise without my season having aired, because you will be no one. No one will know who you are. None of the other players will know who you are. The audience, us at home, won't know who you are. I don't think it's going to be a net positive for any of these guys to go on Paradise. That said, what choice do you have if it's the only thing they're giving you? Yeah, that's the
thing. I'm like, if Paradise happens, then maybe you'll get something as opposed to nothing. I would wonder if there's a third carrot, which is, if they do another Bachelorette season to replace this, will any of those guys make it onto that season? Blake Moyne style.
Yeah, they're probably dangling that carrot as well. And that for some of them, they're, the top four, they're dangling the carrot of you might be the next Bachelor. That is probably the carrot that is the most realistic, I think, for the top guys. And for them, fine. Keep your mouth shut. Do whatever ABC tells you to do. For everyone else, this is what I would say. For almost all of the guys on that season, right now is your time to tell your story. And I know ABC has said, you can't do this. We're not going to approve any podcast appearances, et cetera, et cetera. There are ways to appear on a podcast and have your voice and likeness
Mhm.
obscured so that no one could tell who it is, and to not say anything specific about any dates you're on or anything like that. So you're not personally identified, but to talk generally about the events that transpired over the course of the season and how you feel about it now. That to me is kind of like one of the worst things that all players talk about coming out of the show, is to have no one to talk about the experience with because ABC tells you can't.
Mhm.
And so in this case, can you imagine? You can't talk to anybody about this. You just put your life on hold. They scuttled the whole season and tell you to shut the fuck up, and you can't talk to anybody about it.
It's one of the worst things I think about how they deal with the watchback period in general, is like not letting their players go on podcasts other than Bachelor Happy Hour, maybe.
Yeah.
Not letting them make appearances, etc. Versus all these other shows, Love is Blind, etc. They're everywhere, and
They
that
go
blows
on
the show up.
official Netflix Reality Universe podcast and blow the show up. I mean, we saw with Tyler and Kia, they went on What's the Reality? And we're basically like, yeah, we asked all the guys if they were MAGA. They all said yes. We walked out. It's like, that what? That's in the official fucking podcast from Netflix?
They're talking.
Yeah, they don't give a shit on Netflix. I would also say this to the guys of Taylor Frankie Paul season. ABC is trying to keep you quiet just long enough to announce the next Bachelorette or whatever the next big, bright, shiny thing is. And then Bachelor Nation looks over there and you will be forgotten about.
Yeah.
You will be thrown in the dustbin. And that's how ABC wants it. Right now, there is still massive interest in anything you have to say on any platform, be it coming on a podcast like ours, where we will obscure your face and voice if necessary, or just posting it to your own Instagram. And I know that they're threatening you with legal action and all this stuff. I am not a lawyer. Please don't take this as legal advice. But I personally can't see a way that they could sue any of you and have themselves look good at this point. They're already under a massive amount of attention and kind of scrutiny, for the Taylor Frankie Paul disaster by itself. Now they're suing the guys who are on the season. I just think that's not going to look good for them in a way that they can't burden themselves with currently.
I think there's no way. I don't even think they can sue TFP. Clearly, if you watch season 4 of Swamla, this is, I don't know.
A way they can sue, again, to sue someone, you just have to be a lawyer or have a lawyer, which ABC has, that will bring a lawsuit. It looks bad to sue Taylor Frankie Paul?
I think so.
She could be the scapegoat for them. They could say, we didn't know about any of this shit. Oh my God.
They can't say that. They knew about almost all of it, probably.
And?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they can't do it. You can't sue a person who is unwell as she appears in season 4 of Sama. I
guarantee you they have talked about that.
Of course.
I think you're right that they won't do it. I think it would have happened by now after they announced that the season is getting scuttled. I don't know. Maybe it would come out in the next couple of weeks because they can sue her for damages potentially against the money that they would have made. You know what I mean? Based on these,
breaking her contract.
Yeah. I don't know what specifically is in that contract. I mean, she rendered services. We'll get to that in news. I don't think she did anything against contract in terms of what she did as a bachelorette.
No, but don't you think the other more recent instances probably broke something in the contract?
No, because that contract is just, no. You have to kind of abide by the image they want to present of a bachelorette. But none of these incidents that are being talked about, well, I guess no, the one that happened in late February is, and that would be in the promotional period for her season. That's what I mean. I feel like there's got to
be something in the promo period.
Maybe you're right. Maybe she did breach it by the DV allegation.
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything.
I'm not either.
I'm stupid.
Same.
So keep that in mind. I think you're right that these guys do need to, this is their moment if they want to talk about it. I mean, there's never going to be more eyes on the TFP season that wasn't than right now, especially until they make this announcement. I would also say we are open to, if any of the players want to send us a written statement anonymously, we would also read that as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Any way you want to get your story out. I just think that there's like this moment in Bachelor history. It's the most explosive moment, period, by far, of anything that's ever happened. It is going to have the most drastic effect, I think, on the franchise as a whole of any moment that has ever happened, maybe barring Trista and Ryan Sutter getting married, which I think has allowed the franchise to exist for 20 years. Or more than, I guess, at this point. By the way, happy anniversary. March 25th was the first episode of Bachelor way back in 2022.
What a beautiful ride.
But yeah, I agree. I think that right now there's so much attention on this. And if you have something to say, even if you want to say it anonymously, Game of Roses is happy to facilitate that in whatever capacity you feel comfortable with. It's just important, I think, right now to get this stuff documented as it's happening. Because like I said, 2 weeks from now, if the rumors are true, and we're going to get into this in Bachelor Nation news, that Maura Higgins is going to be announced as the next Bachelorette, this shit vanishes. No one gives a fuck about it. It's gone.
Yeah.
And you have to get the story out now while people still care about this. Because ABC, they're a giant corporate greed machine. They're going to be very good at turning people's attention whichever way they want it, and this will all go away.
Do we know where the information that TFP walked out of a date who brought up the DV came from?
TMZ reported it.
But I mean, did it come from a player? Did it come from production? Like, how did they find that out?
That I don't remember. I don't remember what was in the article. We have a whole YouTube video about it where I'm reading that article and breaking it down, but I don't remember exactly where that information came from.
Oh yeah, Clues News is popping off on our YouTube. Go check that out.
Gotta be done.
To the minute.
Gotta be done. Anyways, that's kind of what we feel like the state of the game is, specifically through the lens of looking at these guys, these 22 dudes who showed up, put their life on the line. Not really, but put their life on hold to perform for us on this giant stage with the biggest lead in Bachelor history. All of that anticipation, all of that energy and effort put into this performance to have it destroyed, removed, thrown in the trash can, locked in a closet, turn the lights out on it, and you're never going to see it again. Although I won't say we won't see it. I'll simply say
like that you keep saying that. Hopefully that comes into being.
I'm going to see that season.
They're also like, it was canceled so close to the premiere date. They probably all had watch parties with their friends and family planned,
God,
and like
100%.
All these social media plays in their drafts that they're not going to get to post.
100%. And some of these dudes, you know who you are, and I know who you are in some cases, at least. You've been in the pipeline of this fucking machine for 3 years. Finally, you get this shot, and this happens. And now they're like, listen, don't say anything. We might still air it. They ain't airing this. No one's ever going to see it. Maybe you get to go to Paradise. Maybe you get actually put in the edit in Paradise, but probably you don't. Just statistically speaking, probably you don't. When you show up on Paradise, there's already going to be a bias against you on the production side that you're not going to be interesting for the story, because nobody knows who you are. It's very likely, I think, that Paradise nets you nothing if you even get the invite, if they even make another season.
I also feel like they are going to try to downplay anything having to do anything with TFP and her season.
So it's
like, in casting, I think they're going to favor older players, not TFP's players.
Yep.
I mean, that being said, I do think it's probably some of the strongest talent that they've had in a long time. Part of why we were looking forward to this is because what a huge opportunity to go on TFP's season. Everybody's basically trying to be an influencer who goes on the show. To go on the show that has the first ever influencer lead, I mean, you would assume that those numbers are going to do better than the most recent seasons have been doing. Speaking of the next announcement, I thought we could have a little discussion up top of what we think that announcement should be, who we think could be the next lead, if they are going to announce a Bachelor or Bachelorette.
Okay.
I came up with some names. Some of these are in the discussions.
You're like, Zendaya, Timothy Chalamet.
Look, Zendaya, people are telling me, is married.
I think she is legally wed to Spider-Man.
Yeah. Chalamet, I think is with a Kardashian. That seems like a hard sell for him. But from the nation, we've got Slama player and Bachelor player Latia Gar. Come on now. We've got Susie Evans, always in the conversation. We've got, beautiful hat.
Come on now.
We've got Maria Georges. We've got Tasha Adams.
Ooh.
And look, I don't know for certain that all these people are single. This is just what I could find on the internet.
What about Rachel Lindsay?
Rachel Lindsay.
Could you imagine?
Do you think she would do it? I don't think she would. She just literally declared the franchise is over.
I want to say this. Let me get serious. Let me take off my Latia Gar hat. Rachel Lindsay, if you're listening, I know this is asking a lot of you to return to this franchise.
She's been asked more of than anyone ever already.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, I think you what?
What?
That she should do it?
What are you talking about?
You said, Rachel, if you're listening, what's your message?
Right. Sorry. Rachel, if you're listening to this, I know that it's a lot that you've been asked to do for this franchise, and you have done more than anybody should ever have had to have done for this franchise. That said, I think if you came back, second season of The Bachelorette, and you do it on your terms, you've been through this ringer once, you know how it works. I think you could basically produce your own season and make the show into what you think it should be. I don't know if that's of interest to you at all, but I think it could be, the best season ever of any of the franchise products, for sure. There's such an interesting story woven through it that you were there in the Chris Harrison days. And you would have to tell them basically, like, you want that to be a part of your story. If you do, obviously, that would be part of your Bachelor intro package, is like how you basically KO'd Chris Harrison. You got him out of there.
You could bring Van Lathan in for like a friend of who's going to like help pick the players and stuff.
Like, can you imagine the Council of Crowns is just an episode of Higher Learning? Holy shit. And you can tie Higher Learning into the promotion of the season, obviously. I just think it could be like, it's a very interesting opportunity. Again, I don't know if Rachel Lindsay would be interested in ever doing anything like this. But if there's a little seed of interest there, might be an interesting window to crack open and see what could get done. You could also probably get paid significantly.
I was going to say, if you are one of these heavy hitters, I think you could demand EP credit as well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know, the franchise is in a precarious spot. I think if anyone were to be able to make demands like that at any season, it would be right now. Maybe some of these less big people wouldn't be able to get that. But we have Maura Higgins, which we will discuss a little bit more in Parasocial Plays. These are more of the wild cards. Ilona Mayer, the Olympian. Janae Craig from Love Island.
Ooh, shit. That would be, all of these would be phenomenal. Janae, though, god damn, that's a season.
Kenny.
That's
imagine
a season.
That,
holy shit.
For everyone's name.
Yeah.
We've got Sarah Miller and Amanda Batchelor from Summer House. We've got, I don't even think this person is single, but Rachel Sonata I thought would be great from I Love LA or Odessa. Comedians Liz Plank, Emma Chamberlain, or Amelia de Moldenberg, the chicken shop girl.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I thought they'd be great.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to do a queer lead. Aubrey Plaza, Demi Burnett, Evan Rachel Wood, if any of them are single. Bachelor, Rob Roush, not single, but that doesn't matter. Blake Moynes. And comedian Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
You don't even have to break up with the person. Just be
Put
like,
them in the player pool.
I have to do it for the show.
Let them crash. Let them come and see episode 2 or 3. Crash that season. Who gives a shit?
Let them be a character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a whole scripted thing of it.
He
They're going
shows
to
up.
come in
He's
and
like,
win it all.
Babe, Wednesday's our date night. Are we still doing that? Oh yeah, I guess we are. What do you want to do? It's just like some just regular relationship kind of date night thing. I'll say this though about the whatever is the next phase of this. I think just in terms of the realities of making a season, I know they're talking about Maura Higgins, but the pool of guys that they are working with is basically they've shaved off the top. Those were the guys on Taylor Frankie Paul's season. So now if they're going to rush a Maura Higgins season, who are the guys? It's going to be the second tier, the B list from that casting pool.
Or
they don't
you bring
have
some
enough
of them
time to
back.
put that together. Can you do that?
Can you? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Why not? They did it with Claire and Tayshia.
You simply run the risk of one of those guys winning or getting big enough that, okay, well, now he's going on the interview circuit and he's going to get questions about TFP. I think their strategy is probably to bury all the guys from TFP season.
I think that's probably smart for the most part, but I'm assuming there's some heavy hitters there. I'm assuming the ring winner.
There are great players in that season. Unfortunately, but there are every season. There's always at least one or two standouts every season. I'm just saying that they, in the casting, they basically, how it works is they get inundated with thousands of applications and recommendations. And there are also producers looking on, dating apps and LinkedIn and shit for just like people that they think would work. And all of that gets funneled up. And it's almost like we've been watching this great pottery competition show or something. I don't know what it's called. It's a British pottery competition show.
Okay.
And it's like when you put the clay on the wheel and you're pressing it in and you're raising it up to make a long necked vase. That's what the casting process is like. And then you cut off the very top and you say, there it is. That's our players. Everything else is the bullshit clay that you throw back in the bucket.
But what about the top above that who weren't going to do it because they felt they were better than TFP or didn't want to move to Utah or something like that?
Not exist.
I think it exists. There are people who say no to the show. I know one who refused.
But not because it was Taylor Frankie Paul. It was because those are like the dudes on LinkedIn that they're like, hey, would you ever go on a dating show? And they're like, no. It doesn't matter who the lead is.
Maybe,
you know what I mean?
Like, I think if you do Maura or maybe one of these other big people, it might open up the casting a little bit. You say, for this month, we're casting.
But Maura Higgins is famous in the world of reality TV and dating TV.
Yeah. I think she can help cast it too. I think she could have ideas of people maybe from Love Island or whatever who could come in.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, those are, I guess maybe you could get some Love Island guys or something. I'm just saying, like, I don't think like fame of that type translates generically to like a lot of men being interested in like, oh my God, I have to get on Maura Higgins season. I
don't know. You didn't watch her season.
I didn't. You're right.
She's
but I'm
a
just
star.
saying, like, and I mean, that's kind of proving my point. I don't think most dudes watch a lot of this stuff. I watch a lot of this stuff and I didn't see her season. So I'm just saying that I don't know that she would be a draw generically to guys.
Disagree, but
well, we'll see.
We'll see. Anyway, those are my ideas.
That's the state of our game.
And I think there's hope. Maybe this is me bargaining again.
No, what is it? Delusion. You're in the delusion phase.
I'm in the delusion. I live in the delusion phase.
Me too. That's all we got for State of the Game. Good luck to these guys out there, whether you choose to tell your stories or not. We are here for you nonetheless. And now we're going to move on to all those tids that are fit to print. This is... Bachelor Nation News. First up in Bachelor Nation News, we've got a TFP rundown. I've been covering every piece of TFP news as it breaks on our YouTube channel, so follow along there if you want the up-to-the-second coverage of everything going on in the biggest scandal in the history of Bachelor Nation. But here's a summary, basically, of everything that's happened this week. TFP will still collect a Bachelorette paycheck. Her contract is for services rendered, which she executed by shooting the entire season of Bachelorette. She also did most of the promotional tour for the series already, including that Oscar red carpet work. And she's likely going to receive low to mid six figures, similar to what most of the modern Bachelorettes have gotten.
We also learned that TFP is facing a third allegation, in addition to the 2023 incident that opened season 1 of Slomwa and produced the leaked video that scuttled her season of Bachelorette, and the more recent incident from late February of this year. It's now being reported that officials are investigating allegations of a third domestic violence incident that took place in 2024. The police are reportedly reviewing multiple videos from that incident, so it seems like it's only a matter of time until TMZ leaks those as well.
We also learned that a Salt Lake City County DA said his department is actively investigating whether or not any of these allegations constitute a violation of TFP's probation related to the initial 2023 incident. And if she's found to be in violation of her probationary term, she could face enhanced charges and do jail time.
We also saw that TFP has been active on socials during this time, not posting herself, but commenting and reposting. She even reposted one of our videos talking about the effect this cancellation is having on Bachelor Nation.
And finally, in the Bachelorette cancellation saga, new rumors are surfacing that ABC is considering Maura Higgins as the next Bachelorette for a live season. Whatever that means. I'm not sure. Not even Love Island is live, technically.
They shoot it live. I think they probably mean Love Island style. That's my guess.
Love Island has about depending on what day of the week it is, a 24 to 48 hour lag time between the shooting and the airing.
You and I have advocated for this for a long time because it's clearly possible.
I've literally pitched TV shows that should be shot like this and been told in every case, well, that's not how we do it. That can't be done.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like it might be.
I mean, multiple shows already do it. It's clearly physically possible.
Yeah.
I also love the idea that there would then not be any spoilers out there because you can't spoil what hasn't happened.
Exactly.
Unless you're able to time travel like Clues.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say time travel. I would say access infinity.
Okay.
Thank you. Next up in Bachelor Nation news, will Mom Talk survive this? It ain't looking good. It's extremely likely that Taylor Frankie Paul is going to be removed from Slomwa. Whitney Leavitt, a Broadway star and soon to be movie star, she's not coming back, or at least I would say it's unlikely that she's going to find any benefit in returning to the dumpster fire of Slomwa. And now People is confirming that Jen Affleck is doing her own spin-off show about her living in Orange County with a cast of players that are not from Slomwa. So she's out. The remaining cast of Slomwa is now down to Macy Neely, Michaela Matthews, Layla Taylor, Miranda McWhirter, and Jesse Gatakura, who this week successfully got a judge to deny her soon-to-be ex-husband Jordan's request for a restraining order against her, even as he's being accused of spending her money on escorts. When this kind of thinned out lineup of players and the chaos that seems to be engulfing multiple members of Slomwa cast, while the show itself has paused production with no announced start date, it seems like we might be seeing the end of Mom Talk, at least as we know it.
I feel like since the beginning of Mom Talk, it has been like cockroaches in the nuclear apocalypse. Mom Talk will survive anything, it seems. And they're not afraid to add new cast. So, Latia Gar, I'm sure there's tons of people in the Utah long-haired social scene that are dying for this opportunity. People keep
but
making love with Dakota. I'm guessing that's the reason.
How can you make love to Dakota
to get onto the show
with Dakota? I don't know. It's just that and I guess these housewives go through this all the time too. Cast members drop in, drop out, new ones come in, whatever. But this is a big ass hit. You're taking out some major players here. And the thing with Jesse and Lil Jordan, this is like drama that should actually be in the show. You know what I mean? This is kind of like stuff that's admissible. It's not the Taylor Frankie Paul domestic violence and child abuse allegations and all that. This is like, oh, a relationship is breaking up. It's getting nasty. This is the kind of shit you would normally see in a show like this. They ain't shooting any of it. They are on production pause right now because the cast has said, we don't want to fucking deal with this shit while Taylor Frankie Paul shit's going off. So they're missing the coverage of what is, other than Taylor Frankie Paul, the most significant incident for any of their main characters. It is not on camera.
Not yet. And I think there would be a lot of interest in, Jesse's now going by Jesse Draper, by the way. I think there would be a lot of interest in following her story, finally leaving Jordan. I watched half of that Call Her Daddy interview. Did you watch?
I've only seen the clips. I haven't watched it yet.
I mean, the promo I put in the honorary mention for Parasocial Play of the Week because it was like, Jordan went to TMZ, even though I initiated the divorce, but he wanted to get ahead of it.
Damn.
There's accusations of that she found out he had been communicating with an escort service while he was on a business trip in Texas, and she got proof that he was trying to set up this escort, booked a hotel room, and this is long before the Marciano kissing controversy, as well as her sister told her that their friends or the sister go to sex parties and had seen Jordan at a bunch of them, not with Jesse, and was wondering if they were still together. There is so much in that interview. It is wild. And the promo for it had these like few bullet points where you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I do think there would be interest in following her after that. That's my guess, but
that is like, in my opinion, for a type of show like this, it's exactly the prime content you want in it. This isn't a domestic violence thing. It's not a child abuse thing. It's just this relationship getting super messy. That's the exact thing that, like all these shows, it's kind of the bread and butter of them, you know? And you don't have cameras on it. So at best, you're going to get them in ITMs talking about it past tense.
Yeah.
And like, who gives a shit? You know,
dating
that'll be
again.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be her being single again. But even that, I'm just like, we've done that storyline. It's Taylor Frankie Paul. We see how that turned out. Not good.
I don't think all stories end how TFP's story end. I mean, hopefully.
No, of course. It's a different scenario, different people, all of that, of course. But I'm just saying, tonally, as a viewer, we are now like the kind of like overarching feeling of Sloma and Bachelor right now to me is the Taylor Frankie Paul shit. That's she's defining both series at this point with her allegations and the video and all of it. And so when you tune back in to whatever the next Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season is going to be, that's going to be your entry point. You're going to be looking at it, yes, through the Taylor Frankie Paul fallout lens. And it's like, okay, so what are we going to see? Oh shit, another toxic relationship with a woman who's now single, trying to date again, but still having to deal with the father of her children. It's going to be a mirror image of that. And I'm not saying it will turn out the same. I'm saying, like, just for the standard viewer, you might be a little fatigued. I would be fatigued from that. You know?
I think probably a lot of viewers are fatigued from all of it. However, there's also more eyes on it than ever. So
yeah, that's
time will tell.
And maybe it won't even matter.
I mean, Jordan also filed for a restraining order that he was not granted.
Yeah.
I don't really know the details of that, but they mentioned that in the interview.
Because I think he saw, I mean, this smacks to me of a conversation with Dakota. Bro, you got to get that restraining order.
She
it's so
says
easy,
basically
dude.
that they are in cahoots and
of course.
Constantly speaking and strategizing together.
But, and even that too, like you do another season of Secret Lives and Taylor Frankie Paul and Dakota are not in it. They're the biggest news in that world by far. I feel like that's another tonal problem that series is going to have, at least in the next season, of like, you're just ignoring that.
Well, look, I'm not producing it. I just think it will get produced.
Well, it was being produced.
Lots
They
of
were
problems.
shooting that season, and then it obviously is not being shot now. So I don't know. It's up in the air. I just feel like so much of this shit is bad in a real way, in a way that's not just like, oh, get your popcorn, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's bad in a way that's like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want a corporate greed machine to make money off of this. I don't want to contribute to it. Being complicit in all of this shit, all media, basically, we are that for sure. But there is a line, I think, for people. And I think Taylor Frankie Paul, all the stuff that has happened, has obviously crossed it. She crossed the fucking line for the corporate greed machine, let alone the audience. They yanked the fucking season.
I mean, look, I think there's 0% chance TFP and Dakota are on that season.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But that is your biggest narrative point.
Yeah.
And so if they take them out.
She's the swing.
She's on the fucking swing.
Who else can be on the swing?
They just Photoshop out the swing. They change her with AI into like
it's Miranda.
Joseph Smith blowing the horn. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, maybe get in the other swingers.
Yeah, maybe Chase.
I mean, if you can lock down Whitney, that's what I would do.
I don't think you got a chance at that. Because she's watching all this and just being like, yeah, why would I ever go back to that?
Why wouldn't I do my own spinoff? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Jen Affleck's getting a spinoff. Whitney
I'm
Leavitt
gonna do the
ain't
New
gonna
York
get her
spinoff.
New York Broadway superstar spinoff. That's somebody's talking to her about that right now. Guaranteed. Yeah. She's gonna have her own fucking talk show.
I'm sure she's going to have her own show.
That's my anger phase coming back out. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm mad at like
back.
good things. Whitney Leavitt's going to be a fucking giant star now. I'm angry. I couldn't be happier for her actually, because I think she is a true like entertainer, a true phenomenon. And I just love seeing shit like that rewarded, especially when it comes out like so homegrown, just out of this weird diamond in the rough style. Like, oh, here's these women on TikTok just doing weird shit. Oh, they're swingers. Oh, they got a reality show. Oh shit, she's on Broadway. Oh shit, she's a movie star. I fucking love it. And I also love when reality TV stars get like validated through more traditional media arenas. I fucking love it.
Love it or leave it. That could be her.
Now I'm in the love it stage of grief. I fucking love it.
That dance she did with Mark Ballas on Call Her Daddy was it made you feel things.
Yeah. Deep things. Deep satanic things. Also, this week in Bachelor Nation news, huge congratulations go out to Zoe McGrady, who won Miss Cosmo USA. The official Miss Cosmo USA Instagram made an announcement with some photos of Zoe in a sparkly outfit and tiara. We couldn't be happier for this villain turned heroine.
Also in Bachelor Nation news this week, Katie Thurston updated everyone on her health status, revealing that she's taking a break from cancer treatment to undergo a double mastectomy. In a post on Instagram, she wrote, 2 weeks into my latest cycle, we retested and required yet another break for my liver. She went on, unfortunately, the recovery is taking longer than hoped. My double mastectomy, I have surgery scheduled April 29th for the removal of both my breasts, DMX. This surgery was already rescheduled once and I won't delay it again because of the timing of my medication break and liver recovery and the date of my surgery, which also requires pausing Kisqali. I'll continue to pause treatment for another 2 months. My hormone suppression, Lupron, Letrozole, and does a lot of the heavy lifting in my cancer treatment and won't be paused. Removing the tumor will also be beneficial to my fight against cancer. I'm going to take a week offline to focus on my health and habits. It's easy to doom scroll, which has an impact on physical health and mental health. Maybe I'll actually get those 10K steps in or those 8 hours of sleep. Maybe I'll get back to better meal prepping or working out. I'm not trying to be dramatic and announcing my time away. I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. Just need a reset. Thank you for your love and support. Fuck cancer. Couldn't agree with Katie more. Fuck cancer. And we are thinking of you, Katie, wishing you a speedy recovery through all of this.
Agreed. Finally, in Bachelor Nation news, some very exciting news. The upcoming Bachelor Cruise is now 30% off. The official Bachelor Nation website has made the marketing push for their deep discount And as a service to the fine people at BachelorNation.com who wrote this announcement, I'm going to read it verbatim in its entirety. Ready?
Great.
Quote, "Get excited. We're thrilled to invite you to the first ever Bachelor Nation Vacation at Sea, a celebration of your favorite episodes, moments, and stars. For more than 2 decades, you've watched countless love stories unfold on Bachelor Nation shows, and now it's your turn to experience the magic in person. Set sail from Miami to Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, November 16th to 2026 with Master of Ceremonies Jesse Palmer and hosts Wells Adams and Hannah Brown, plus many of your favorite Bachelor Nation alums. Now, to make it even more epic, we are offering a 30% discount for you and your bestie when you book a cabin anytime from now until May 31st. Just use code BESTIES to get 30% off. Our cruise besties discount is to celebrate all the BFFs within Bachelor Nation, like Susan Knowles and Kathy Swartz, Charity Lawson and Katie Bigger, Wells Adams and Ben Higgins, and so many more. So grab your bestie and book now to join this incredible crew. Plus, you can participate in all the exciting activities happening on board with our Bachelor Nation stars, from table tennis with Joey Graziadei, pizza making with Kaylin Bell, paint and sip with Justin Glaze, love story rewatches with fan favorite couples such as Sean and Catherine, tell-all panels featuring former Bachelors, Bachelorettes, Goldens, Paradise Cast members, and more. This will be unlike any other experience. So what are you waiting for? We can't wait to welcome you and your BFF aboard to enjoy all this and so much more. Click here to reserve your cabin and save now.
Wowie, Clues.
I'm ready for my job.
A beautiful
aboard
monologue.
the Bachelor Nation cruise. I just read that and I was like, this is fucking insane. They're discounting it 30% because the franchise is imploding. And they're like, join now, have fun.
Fire sale. I mean, I would have maybe waited, distanced a little bit from the cancellation to do this. No?
No. This should have been at the bottom of the TMZ article that leaked the video, in my opinion. 4 days, 5 days, that's plenty of time. Plenty of time to start fucking trying to suck money out of your audience. Plenty of time.
I mean,
yeah.
Do you think the cruise will still happen?
30% discount. It's happening in November. Yeah, probably. Here's the deal. I mean, whatever. These deals that they make with all these players are contingent. It's like when we were going to go to Arizona to see Bachelor Live on stage in the Yankee.
Talking Stick Resort.
I don't think any of these players have probably powerful enough lawyers against a cruise line to be like, it's pay or play. You have to pay them even if this doesn't happen. I don't think that's the case. So they probably could still cancel this and not have to pay them out. But they've booked, I mean, you heard all those names. They've booked so many people to be on this cruise already. And what it looks like with this discount is they probably got more Bachelor players showing up than they do people attending the cruise. And they're like, how do we do this? 30% off.
Yeah.
If I was you out there and you're thinking about going on this cruise, I'd wait until this window closes. You're probably going to be getting the 50% off email immediately after this window closes.
If I had already booked, I would ask for a refund and rebook. I wonder if you can do that.
100%. Definitely do that. If you've already booked your stuff and you didn't get this discount, I'd be making some phone calls right now because some of those rooms are fucking expensive. The one that I was looking at was like $4,000.
Yeah. Clue said I'm only going if we go in the Master of Ceremonies suite.
Hell yeah. I'll be sleeping in a bunk bed with Jesse Palmer or I will not be going.
This, I feel like the likelihood that we're going is just lowers daily. Time will tell.
Indeed. Moving on to all those plays that our favorite players are making off the field on their telephones and their accounts. This is the top 5 Parasocial plays of the week.
Honorable mention, as I mentioned up top, goes to the Call Her Daddy promo team on their Jesse Draper promo, including allegations against Baby Grinch involving escorts and orgies. However, our number 5 top play of the week goes to Jill Chin, the face and tier player extraordinaire starring in Bachelor Nation Takeover, gives an incredible show promo on HGTV's Instagram. In it, she performs silly accent play as she points out the mansion's flaws that could be improved upon over quirky music, such as Too Much Paint, the Landlord Special. The caption reads, Jillcore, microphone emoji, hashtag Bachelor Mansion Takeover, 368 likes, 60.6K views.
I love Jill Chin. Coming in at number 4 this week, Butterfly Whisperer Kelsey Anderson. Direct to cam, in a TikTok, she tells us Joey just surprised her in Marbella, Spain, then pans to a bulbous frog, who then performs a walk-off into a pond. Is Joey Gratzitzel a shapeshifter? We like to think so. 575K views, 79.2K likes.
Our third top play of the week goes to lawyer turned Popeye's on-again, off-again lover, Kelly Flanagan. She offers her various thoughts on the cancellation of TFP's season via Instagram Reel. Utilizing some of her law knowledge, her hopes for TFP's familial healing, combined with the guilty part of her brain that still really wants to see TFP's season. Part 1 raked in 14K likes, 805K views.
Not bad, not bad.
Mm-hmm. The part 2 got even more.
The what?
Part 2 got over 1 million.
Damn. She still got it.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in second place this week on the top 5 parasocial plays of the week, Olympian Alana Maura. She posted an Instagram story resharing Bachelor Windmills posts of a petition to get her to be that next crown. She added her commentary, quote, only if Joey Graziadei gets to executive produce and all my friends get to help pick the guys. I don't know why I'm doing this. Will the Ziesel finally get an EP credit? Sorry, time will tell.
All of these were strong plays. However, there can only be one winner. Our top play of the week goes to the Queen Tinker, Maura Higgins. After the gossip account Dumois sparked the conversation with an Instagram blind item that ABC was considering the Love Island UK and Trader Season 4 player for a live season as the new Bachelorette, Higgins herself fueled intrigue by replying in the comments with a simple 2 eyes emoji, prompting further speculation about her interest. 5.3K likes to her comment, 57.8K likes on the Dumois post that also read, they shut down Layla and Miranda as dual season and are trying to steer away from the Slawma girlies. Yeah, I don't think we've had a single emoji win this award before.
Oh, wow. Congratulations to her.
Congrats.
If she does become the Bachelorette, her rise to power in this past year will be fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
To have gone from, obviously she came out in Love Island. She blew up on that and became the host of their recap show, basically After Sun, the weekly recap show, or not recap, but it's like she does interviews with the players who got kicked off and kind of talks about what happened that season, whatever. Into Traders, finalists, into Bachelorette in the same year.
Into Birkin bag. Into Bachelorette.
Into a Birkin bag, delivered by Rob Roush with gloves. Yeah, this could be her year. This could be the one where she goes third wave, super mainstream. I mean, she already is third wave on Traders, but like third wave at the top of the heap of another massive dating franchise. That's like, have we seen that before? No.
I would love to see it.
Well, we've never seen
Love Island to Bachelor.
Yeah, we've never seen that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Certainly not in a lead.
No.
Anyways, there were a couple of players also doing some parasocial plays this week who were not, how do you say, human beings. This week, the parasocial creature of the week goes to a kitten named Sonny Bean. This is the newest addition to the family of, I should say, to the feline family of Serene Russell and Brendan Marias. They introduced this new kitten, Sonny Bean, in a beautiful video tribute to his first days with his new family, set to Charlie XCX's Fall in Love Again and Again. Sonny Bean is very cute, not as cute as Scobby, no offense, and as are Serena's other feline family members. And by the way, none of them as cute as Scobby, just to let everyone know.
Oh. Also, send your healing wishes to Scobby. Sonny is very cute, and maybe this is the Sonny that I knew reincarnated.
That could be.
It is an orange cat.
Could be.
I love you, Sonny.
I love you too, Sonny. And Scobby, wherever you are. Probably sleeping on the bed, drooling his toxic drool directly into my pillow. That's always fun. Moving on, we have one more segment left in this week of Twibbin. It is, of course, that segment where PaceCase and I jump into the murky waters at the bottom of the pit we've been digging for almost 7 years now, PaceCase.
Dang.
7-year anniversary is in June.
What are we going to do?
I'm going to turn an age that I'll not name in that month. And
29.
29. I'm going to turn 29 years old once again. And that I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do for the 7-year anniversary.
Sound off in the comments.
Yeah, what should we do?
What
should we do?
I feel like 7's a cool number, so we should do something cool.
Okay. I'm down. But what we're going to do right now is scream from the bottom of the pit. This is
Screams from the pit!
All right, PaceCase. Let's hear it. What you got? Scream it.
I have some pretty intense screams built up from maternity leave. This is probably one of my top screams ever. You'll remember Crystal Nielsen from Ari Leindyke season.
No, who's that? The mother of Glitter Baby. I'll never forget.
The mother of Glitter Baby. And do you remember when she was bringing Glitter Baby into our world?
Oh, yeah.
There was a certain photo shoot that was had.
Yeah.
In the certain birth room with a certain prop, a ring light.
Yeah.
And I, in an homage to Crystal Nielsen and Glitter Baby, brought a ring light into the birth room of my human child. I didn't attach it to anything or do a photo shoot, but I did bring it in the go bag. Mm. I took a photo of it in the birth room. And that is, I think, one of the biggest screams of my life because it is a giant item. It took up a big part of my go bag. Yeah. And it was there for the birth of my son.
I have 2 questions about this. One, was it the only kind of thematic reference to Bachelor that was in the room with you?
Well, no.
Okay.
But I'll save that one for next week.
What? Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
God.
So, nice tease for next week. And my second question is, this may be a big scream for you, but you got another one coming. This has a baked in scream down the road, which is, when do you tell your son that this happened, and how do you explain what it actually means in reference to Crystal Nielsen and, oh, your mom really likes this reality show, and like how can you successfully communicate exactly why you had that ring light in there?
You think I need to tell him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have wondered about like what is the age at which one would even understand what reality TV is, or like what my job is, or and what technology will look like at that level where it'll be like talking about a rotary phone or something, like podcasting. Yeah. I don't know. I'm very curious how that conversation will go. I would imagine like, you know, you're like, oh, your mom's not cool. You wouldn't even like listen to the podcast probably. I would imagine. I don't know.
I think the exact opposite. I think it's going to be like, as we've always talked about, it's like sports. You're going to be like, you know, a sportscaster from the 80s or something. those people are
Mhm.
still revered by the people who do that job now, and they help lay the groundwork for like ESPN and the kind of current media landscape.
Yeah. I'll be like,
is all born out of that stuff.
They got everything they did from us.
What?
Gobbledygook, who I imagine the Gen Alpha podcaster.
Oh, I see. You're making up a future. Now I understand kind of the premise
Why
that
aren't
you're
you in
making
my
a little
brain?
bit.
God.
Yeah, I understand 10% of what you're trying to say.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, that's a beautiful scream.
Yeah, I'll find
Congratulations
the
to that
photo.
ring light and to your child who is, unbeknownst to him, blessed by the magical powers of the pit.
Mm-hmm.
When are you going to explain that? That's going to be a good scream.
What?
Ollie, let me tell you about the pit and how this works. You're going to have that conversation.
Let's say, how do you think we paid for your glorp-de-glorp?
Glorp-de-glorp is some device in the future that he'll need for school or something.
Yes, obviously.
Okay. Okay. All right. My
Future
scream-
casting.
I can't wait to see what a glorp-de-glorp is. My scream doesn't have to do with glorp-de-glorps or any future devices. It has to do with contemporary devices. I just loosely wrote down a note, the eyes of TFP for my scream.
Mhm.
This past week has been, I didn't anticipate like something like this could have this much of a psychological or emotional effect on me. And it has. It's been profound. It really has felt to me the closest I can come to it. And it's not this extreme, but it's a similar tone, was when fucking 9/11 happened.
You have mentioned it.
Yeah. And I'm
Is
just
your
like,
9/11.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking insane. It's just
Yeah.
a Bachelorette season getting canceled.
I know.
But obviously we do a podcast about it. So we're talking about it almost daily. I'm covering all the news of it and all this stuff. But it is like the emotional anticipation of what this season meant in terms of this thing that I love it's devastating. And so the scream is, as you're going through whatever we were talking about, denial and anger and delusion and all the other phases of grief, you're, especially in LA, billboards are fucking everywhere here. Every surface is some promotion for a new movie or TV show coming out or whatever.
Yeah.
And so in the past 4 or 5 days, I've literally been driving around, not even far, just to like go eat down the street or to the gym down the street or whatever.
The Grove.
And what's that?
The Grove.
The Grove. Yeah. I think I showed that picture in a live. They have these little kiosks in the Grove, these little like standing things that have video screens in that promote TV shows and whatever, all kinds of shit. Taylor Frankie Paul's on all of them. I literally went to the Grove like the night after the announcement, got some dinner at my favorite Erewhon, and then I was like, let's take a spin around the Grove and go see if there's some Magic the Gathering cards that I want to buy in Barnes and Noble. And so we were walking through the Grove. Every fucking kiosk is Taylor Frankie Paul busting out of that Barbie doll package saying break the mold, and she's like smiling at you, and I'm just like, I can't be here.
Not break the mold.
Break the mold. And then we're driving back away from the Grove and Erewhon and stuff to head back home. There's a fucking giant billboard with her smiling face staring down at me. It was like, I don't know how many Taylor Frankie Pauls were like visually assaulting me with their parasocial gaze that night, but it was at least a dozen. And I was just like, I've never had that experience with Bachelor before where it's that pronounced.
Yeah.
Certainly you see the billboards or you're at the Grove or whatever. You see little things. You see Golden God Gary. I remember seeing his first billboard and being like, oh my God, there he is. And that was it. Like that was one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor Frankie Paul, for whatever reason, just fucking there. Like you cannot escape me no matter how hard you try.
A lot of promo dollars.
And then I was also thinking like, how could I explain this experience to anyone?
Yeah.
That Taylor Frankie Paul is somehow demonically haunting me after her cancellation through a series of kiosks at the Grove. That's never going to be a good conversation to have with another person, you know?
Yeah.
So I have it here in the pit where potentially these are the only people who may understand this. You and whoever's listening to this right now. And that's it. It's a small group, but a powerful
I completely
group.
understand. And I've had so many conversations where people are like, bless their hearts, they're sending me the link that Bachelorette is canceled, and I'm like,
Same.
Okay, like what?
Exactly.
Just so many like casual conversations where like maybe they're not thinking about how it will impact me emotionally. Definitely.
Yeah.
Some people are not thinking about how it might impact our show. Things like that. And I'm just like, it has made me feel like kind of insane because like you, I feel emotionally drained by this week a lot. Like
you have no idea. I got like sick.
So much.
Literally got sick. Was just, kind of like a slight cold type feeling, like low energy. My throat started scratching. And I'm like, is this shit making me fucking ill? I believe it is. I don't know how else I would have gotten ill. Cut to
the
me.
gym.
Just like, yeah, exactly. Just like, you done with that bench, bro? I just lay down and some guy sweat. Yeah, exactly. How did I get sick again?
Scobby's just shitting in your pillow.
I don't think Scobby's getting me sick, but he definitely drools on my pillow.
Ew.
Gotta fix that. I know. Maybe now that he has one less tooth, it'll be this drool will subside.
Well, I feel like that'll make more drool.
No, because I think it's about his face shape and his teeth like fuck his lips up a little bit in a cute way. So like his mouth never quite closes.
Now you smooth them down.
Yeah, I think he might be able to keep the drool inside.
Interesting. Silver lining.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Silver lining after the vet bill and the terror and the Googling what happens to cats if they have their teeth out. You don't want to Google that.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We're not the only ones screaming, ladies and gentlemen. We, of course, are listening to your scream. And if you have a scream, all you have to do, if you want to hear it on the show, is join us at patreon.com/Game of Roses. You get access to the Game of Roses Discord. In that Discord, there is a channel called Submit Your Scream. You record it in a 1 minute or shorter audio or video format, and you upload it there, along with any peripheral or supporting materials that you may need to upload. We have some of those today. Our scream comes to us from Corinne. We are going to listen to it, and then we are going to view the supporting materials. Are you ready, PaceCase?
Let's go.
Here is Corinne's scream.
Hello, Pit. My scream comes from my 4th grade classroom related to the cancellation of Taylor Frankie Paul's season of The Bachelorette. So I was doing a grammar lesson and my classroom phone rang, and usually I expect a change of go-home plans or a student has an appointment or something. But when I picked up the phone, the school secretary yelled, they pulled The Bachelorette into the phone, which was very important news for me. But the involuntary gasp that left my mouth shocked my students, and they genuinely thought that there was an emergency. And so I had to calmly explain that everyone's safe and good, but my favorite show got canceled, and so I was just shocked and sad. So then my grammar lesson turned into, what's The Bachelor? And my parents watch Love is Blind. And I just told them that the new lead was not doing nice or healthy things, so they had to cancel it. And then 2 of my kids wrote me sympathy notes about losing my favorite show. So the Pit provides, even in 4th grade, and I extend the sentiments of my kids' notes to all of the fans of our beloved game. Praise be.
Oh my God. So this is obviously an extremely high level scream or low level, depending on how you want to phrase it. But this is kind of what we were talking about. Like, how do you explain to children this mania? And here now, the mania has reached such a degree that you're getting a phone call from the front office. They canceled The Bachelorette. Oh my God. And a whole class full of kids is like, oh, shit, what's happening? Taylor Frankie Paul just had a video leak. And then you've got to try to explain all this shit.
When kids are involved, it's always a next level scream.
Yeah. Now, we do have some images of these notes. Are you ready?
Are you serious?
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
Here's our first one. It says, I am so sorry that your for show is canceled. I hope you move past this and do not grow up to have a sad life. If you need help, call 911 and there is peace and therapy, I think it says, or therapist. And it's
People
a video
and therapists.
or it's a image drawn on the other side of this thing that I believe is meant to be a rose. I think that's supposed to be a rose. I could be wrong. It could also be
this
an
image
explosion,
makes
a
this
nuclear
one of my
explosion.
favorite screams of all time. This is the funniest shit I've
We
ever
still
read.
got 2 more of these. There's
Do
2
not grow
more
up
notes.
to have a sad life.
I
mean,
hope you
this-
move
what
past
an empath.
this. It's
I
fucking
hope you move
insane.
past this. I hope I move past this too. Good God. Is this what Oliver is going to say to me? Like,
I'll never
weekly?
move past this.
God.
Okay, here's our second one. Oh, fuck, man. I'm sorry for your loss. It's a giant broken heart and 2 sad crying emoji faces at the bottom of the page.
Wow.
Man, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Your
And
loss.
the third one, our third and final note from this 4th grade class. This is what I'm saying. Like this scream is such a deep ass level.
It's
You now
so
have
good.
children producing art in support of your emotional duress derived from the cancellation of Taylor Frankie Paul's season. Like, can you imagine if, I don't know if Taylor Frankie Paul would ever possibly see this, but can you imagine being Taylor Frankie Paul and seeing that 4th graders are making this art in response to you? And oh God.
It's
All right.
so beautiful. And it's like distilling the emotions in a way that like only kids could do. And it makes you feel absurd because you're like, I'm sorry for your loss. Usually you associate that with, a death of a person or something.
Corinne, if you're listening to this, and I hope you are, you have to frame these. I would put these together in one single frame, and I would put them maybe up in your classroom.
I would
if
put them in
allowed.
the classroom so you can talk about it as much as possible and never move past this.
Yeah. Every year when you get your new class of students in, you say, and today I'm going to tell you what this framed plaque is all about.
This show and tell, like every week's show and tell, will start with me.
Yeah, exactly. And today I'm going to ask, it's our first day here in my 4th grade classroom. Everyone welcome. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you this plaque that I have on the wall. And I want each of you to tell me what you think it means.
Yeah. It's a Rorschach test.
Our third and final one is simply one that says, I hope you can recover. And it is a giant picture of someone crying.
It's another crying emoji. And I'm like, these kids are online, Gen Alpha or whatever.
Yeah, they're just drawing emojis all day and all night.
They're
wow.
online.
This is incredible.
I hope you can recover. So sweet.
What beautiful
Such
artifacts.
empaths.
Yeah, thank you so much for sending in this scream. One of the highest level I have ever seen. Once you're dragging it,
One of my
this
favorites
not only
ever.
includes how your fandom of The Bachelor affects your job. This is your place of work. It's also affecting your co-workers now. I would consider the children in your classroom to be your co-workers. It is also affecting children, and it is forcing people who don't engage with The Bachelor, I'm guessing, to engage with it at a high level, creating works of art in service of your fandom of it. This is a very high level scream. You are extending the pit by
Thank you so
feet
much.
at the very least.
I mean, I'm also imagining those kids going home to their parents. What'd you do at school today? Oh, I made a drawing. Oh, why? Oh, Mrs. So-and-so had a loss. Like, what is that game of telephone resulting in?
I can't imagine that. Parents just being like, what the fuck? My kid had to draw my sympathies greeting card for their teacher because The Bachelorette got canceled.
I also, like, this reminds me of, like,
fuck, man.
like you're saying, 9/11, you remember where you were. I remember where I was when I found out about the cancellation. We were on Zoom, and you go, they pulled it, looking at your phone. And I felt like I was on, like, the West Wing or something.
Yes, I remember it too. We were about to record an episode, and then that episode drastically changed what we were going to be talking about. Anyways.
Yeah.
Fantastic scream. Thank you for sending it in. Again, if anybody else out there wants to send in a scream, just go on our Patreon, get on our Discord, fire it off. That wraps up this week in Bachelor Nation, and we hope everybody out there is getting through it as best they can. Watching some of these other shows is like slightly helpful to me.
Yeah.
Survivor, I'm covering that also. I think I owe one of those still from last night. But yeah, we hope everybody out there is making it through. And whenever they have more announcements and news about who the next Bachelor or Bachelor is going to be, whatever the next direction of this franchise is going to be, we'll be covering it here. We hope you'll join us for that.
Praise be Dark Lord Palmer.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us. And then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.